திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். புழியர்கோன் வெப்பொழித்த புகழியர்கோன் கடல் போற்றி, ஆழிமிசை கல்முதப்பில் அணைந்த பிரான் அடி போற்றி, வாழித்திரு நாவலூர் வன்றொண்டர் பதம் போற்றி, ஊழிமலி திருவாத ஊரர் திருத்தாள் போற்றி. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். So we have been discussing Sundarar Thevaram, padhigam 7.48. This is a very special padigam. In Thevaram, we have several padigams that are known as Panchaksharam padigam or namasivāya padigams, and this is one of them. So we have two padigams of Sambandar that praises Panchaksharam. One is 3.22, which you have seen, and another is 3.49, which we have not seen so far. And in Thirunavukarasar Thevaram, we have seen 4.11. And in Sundarar Thevaram, it is 7.48. So in the last few sessions, we have seen the first 8 verses. And today we are going to continue from the 9th verse. So, Murthy, you can repeat with me. Do you have the file in front of you?
I don't have the file, but I can repeat with you.
Okay, that's the best. Because historically, the written form is much later, right? The oral form is the first one, where you hear and you repeat. So you can repeat with me, and then later on, after when I am talking about the padigam, you can go look at the file.
Yeah.
The 9th song, sāraṇan.
Sorry, 1 minute. Huh?
Yeah.
Tell me.
Yeah. sāraṇan.
Sāraṇan.
Tandai. embirān. endai tambirān. embon. mā-maṇī. என்று பேரணாயிர கோடிதேவர் பிதற்றி நின்று பிரிகிலார். நாரணன் பிரமன் தொழும் கரையூரில் பாண்டிக்கொடுமுடி காரணா உனை நான் மறக்கினும் சொல்லும் நமச்சிவாயவே. Good. So in this padigam, in every song, Sundarar is saying, O Shiva, even if I were to forget you, my tongue will automatically chant your holy name, Namasivāya. That is because his tongue is so used to chanting Namasivāya mantram, he recites the Namasivāya mantram all the time. So, he won't forget to recite the Namasivāya mantram. But even if something were to happen and he were to forget to recite, it won't matter because his tongue is so used to it, it will automatically say, even if his mind is not thinking about it, his tongue will automatically say Namasivāya mantram. So that is how, how much devotion he has got, how much practice he has got, how regularly he utters the Namasivāya mantram all the time. So that is what he is repeating in every song of this padigam. So he is effectively highlighting his deep devotion to Shiva. And in every song, he describes different attributes of Shiva, his glory, his form, his valor and all those things he describes. And then he also describes the natural beauty of that sthalam. I mentioned about this in the other sessions. The Kodumudi temple is on the banks of Kaveri river. Very beautiful. So in every song he will describe the sthalam and say that, O Shiva dwelling in that sthalam, even if I were to forget you, my tongue will say your holy name. Now let's look at the phrases he is saying here. In the 9th song, he says sāraṇan. Is basically the first line is describing different ways of describing Shiva. So Sāraṇan means you are the refuge. Sharanam is a Sanskritam word. Sharanam is refuge. And from that Sharanam, Sāraṇan is a word that implies one who is the refuge. One who gives refuge. Like just like we have Dasharatha and Dasarathi, like that in Sanskritam, the first letter will become longer when you derive a word from that. So they explain in the commentary that Sāraṇan is the word that comes from the root Sharanam, and that means one who is the refuge. Tandai. Tandai is father in Tamil. So the song is addressed to Shiva and is describing Shiva. Oh Shiva, you are the refuge, you are the father, meaning you are my father. He is the father of everything. Embirān. Embirān means our Lord. Piṛān is a Tamil word which refers to the Lord as it's like our Swami, O Lord, our Lord. Embirān. So Sāraṇan, Tandai, Embirān. Then he says endai, tambirān. Endai means our father. Tambirān is his Lord. So endai, tambirān together means you are the Lord of my father. Now the Tandai is addressing Shiva himself directly as my father, O father. But here endai, tambirān is addressing Shiva as O Lord of my father. Here it is talking of the father of this physical body. Is what we call as father in normal language, right? Is real father, human father, which is basically when he says endai, tambirān, you are the father, Lord of my father. What he means is that I come from a lineage of Shiva devotees. My father was a Shiva devotee, my grandfather was a Shiva devotee. That kind of a long lineage of Shiva devotees is highlighting that you are my father's Lord. So meaning my father was also your devotee. Pon. Pon means gold. Pon is our gold. You are our gold. In Indian languages we have this ways of describing. You are my diamond, you are my gold, you are my this, you are my that, right? Basically we are cherishing somebody and we value somebody greatly. So we say, you are my gold. Like that. Pon is my gold, which means that you are very dear to me. mā-maṇī. Ma is big, great, beautiful. You can look at it as like the Sanskrit word maha in a sense. Maha is big, but in Tamil the ma refers to big as well as beautiful and other things. Maṇī is gem. mā-maṇī is you are the great gem. So the first line, Sāraṇan, Tandai, Embirān, endai, tambirān, Embon mā-maṇī என்று, thus praising who பேரணாயிர கோடி தேவர். There are millions and millions of devas. That's what he's saying. Eണ്ണாயிர கோடி is, Eണ്ണாயிரம் is 8,000. Kodi is crore in Indian languages. Devar. So there are 8,000 crore devas. Basically, infinite number of devas, great number of devas. Pidatru nindru pirigalar. Pidatrudal is to say it repeatedly. When you say it once or twice, we say we repeat it. And then when you repeat it several times, you say you are chanting it. But pidatrudal is when you are overcome with emotion and you repeatedly keep saying something. That is called pidatrudal. Sometimes you are incoherent, right? When you are overcome with emotion, your voices won't be coherent. That way, that's what is described. Pidatru nindru means they are overcome with deep devotion. they are incoherently uttering your names. Nindru pirigilar means they are not able to leave you. Basically, the devas are all worshipping you. That's the meaning of the second line, with great devotion. And of course, the first line also says, you are the refuge, you are our father, my father's father, etc. So that is Shiva. That is his glory. That is his greatness. And where is that Shiva? He dwells in Kodumudi. Kodumudi, the Kodumudi is the name of the Salam today. And this is where the, Pandya king got blessed here. He received Shiva's grace. And, that's why it's called the Kodumudi. And that is the name of the temple. Karayur is the name of the place. I have mentioned this in other temples too. There are place names and there are temple names. Like a common example I quote is Mylapore. Right? In Madras there is a place called Mylapore. And in Mylapore there is Kapali temple. That temple is known as Kapalishwaram. So place is Mylapore, temple is Kapalishwaram. Like that, place is Karayur, temple is Kodumudi. And in over a period of many centuries, the place name vanished. Karayur name is no longer in use. The temple name Kodumudi became the place name itself. So the place is now known as Kodumudi. And he is saying Naranan Piraman Tozhum Karayuril Kodumudi Karana. So in this place, Brahma and Vishnu worship Shiva. So if you go to this temple, there is a Brahma Sannidhi, there is a Vishnu Sannidhi, and the Salapuranam says Brahma and Vishnu worship Shiva here. So that's what Sundarar is mentioning here. Naranan. Naranan is Narayana. Piraman is Brahma. These are all Tamil forms of the Sanskritam names. Naranan, Piraman Tozhum. Tozhudal is to worship. Naranan, Piraman Tozhum. Brahma and Vishnu are worshipping in Karayur, Karayuril, in Karayur, Kodumudi, in the Kodumudi temple, Karana. Karana is a Sanskritam word. Karanam is the cause, and the Shiva is known as Karanan, because he is the primordial cause. And in addressing him, becomes Karana, with a long vowel. So, O primordial cause dwelling in Kodumudi temple in Karayur, worshipped by Brahma and Vishnu. O Shiva, Unai nan marakkinum, even if I were to forget you, Sollumna, my tongue will say Namasivāya. Namasivāya. So basically, he is describing, the first line is all addressing Shiva with various names and his glory. And the second line says the devas are all praising him like that. And the third line says Brahma and Vishnu are worshipping Shiva in Kodumudi. And in the fourth line, he says, O Shiva, even if I were to forget you, my tongue will chant your holy name, Namasivāya. So, Murthy, if you have the file in front of you, you can read the whole verse.
Yeah, 1 minute. Sāraṇan, tandai, embirān, endai tambirān, embon, mā-maṇī, endru per edayira kodi devar, pijatru nindru pirigilar, Naranan Piraman Tozhum Karayuril Pandikkodumudi Karana, Unainan Marakkinum Sollum Na Namachivāyave.
Very good. Good. So now we move on to the final song of this padigam. Rama, you can read with me. Koniya pirai sudiyai Karayuril Pandikkodumudi Peniya Perumanai Pinyaga Pittanai Piṟappu-illiyaip Pānula வரிவண்டு
வரிவண்டு
அரை கொன்றை
அரை கொன்றை
தாரணை
தாரணை
படப்பாம்பு
படப்பாம்பு
அரை நாணனை
அரை நாணனை
தொண்டன் ஊரன்
தொண்டன் ஊரன்
சொல்லிவை
சொல்லிவை
சொல்லுவார்க்கு
சொல்லுவார்க்கு
இல்லை துன்பமே.
இல்லை துன்பமே.
Good. So this is the final song of this padigam, and as you know, in Sundarar padigam, in the final song, like in some other tēvāram padigams, he will mention the which sthalam he is singing about, and he will say that I, Sundarar of Tirunavalur, sang this padigam on this Lord in this sthalam, and those who recite this padigam will get this benefit. So he will mention that in every one of his padigams. Like that, here also he is saying that he has sung that padigam here in Kodumudi, and those who say this will be free of suffering. Illai tunbame. Tunbam is a Tamil word which means suffering, misery, pain, all those things, right? The illai tunbam is they don't have any more suffering. They will be free of suffering. That is a benefit, he says, of those who recite this padigam. Now the first few lines, in fact in the first three lines, he is describing Shiva. Koniya pirai sudiyai. The Koniya means bent or curved. Pirai is crescent moon. Sudiyai is one who is wearing it. So Koniya pirai sudiyai is the Shiva who is wearing the curved crescent moon. That is the meaning of the phrase. Koniya pirai sudiyai Chandrasekhara. Because it is poetry, because of its poetry, they will have a lot of description of these things, and they are also rhyming. So you will find those kind of, if you simply say Chandrasekhara, Jatadhari, that will be more like Archana, simply listing the names in Archana. But whereas it is poetry, so they have descriptions and rhyming and all that. So Koniya pirai sudiyai, the Shiva who is wearing the curved crescent moon. Karayuril Kodumudi Pēniya Perumanai. We already seen the phrase Karayur, name of the place. Kodumudi, name of the temple. Pēniya means to cherish. Perumanai is the Lord. So, Karayuril Kodumudi Pēniya Perumanai. The Lord who cherishes the Kodumudi temple in Karayur. That means the Lord who dwells lovingly in this temple in Kodumudi in the Karayur place. Pinyaga Pittanai. He puts two attributes in one phrase. Pinyaga Pittanai. Pittan means, literally meaning it's madness, right? In crazy or mad is the word meaning of Pitta. And that is, we know it from the first song of Sundarar too, Pitta Pirai Sudi. Because when Sundarar was about to get married, Shiva comes as an old man and stops the wedding and claims him to be his slave, and then takes him to court and wins the case and makes him his slave, and then reveals himself. And at that time when he stops the wedding, Sundarar gets angry. He says, are you crazy? Are you mad? That's how he was criticizing that old man at the wedding scene. So, later on, after Shiva reveals himself to Sundarar and commands Sundarar to sing his glory, Sundarar says, I don't know how to sing your glory. I don't know. I don't know how to sing. What will I sing? Then Shiva tells him, start with the word you call me, which is Pitta. There in the wedding, he called out, are you crazy? Are you fool? Are you mad? That kind of, the normal craziness. But whenever we use the word Pittan to describe Shiva, it refers to his great love that he has. We are crazily in love. That's how even in English we have this phrase, right? He is crazy after this. He is crazy after movies. He is crazy after this. That means there is a very lot of love or for something which may not be even worthy of that. So Shiva has got this great love for all the beings. Even though we may not be worthy of that level of love, but he has love. So that is one way of describing Pittan, Lord with infinite love. The other potential interpretation is that the Lord does things which we may not be able to understand, right? If in normal life, if some crazy person does something, we don't try to explain why he did something. Okay, we say he's crazy, that's why he does anything. We can't figure out why he does things. Like that Lord, because we cannot understand Shiva, because if we can understand Shiva, then we have a full knowledge of him. Right? We cannot fully know him. So there are things that he does which we cannot understand. That's another way of looking at it as to how we can be called a Pittan. So that is the word Pittan. Pinyagan. Pinyagan is again a word that comes in several Thevaram songs. In commentaries, they describe this word as someone who is wearing a lot of things on his head. Shiva is wearing Ganga, he is wearing various flowers, he is wearing the snake, he is wearing the crescent moon. So he has got all kinds of head gear, you can say. And a lot of things he is wearing on the head. So that Pinyagan means somebody with that kind of a head ornaments. That's how they interpret in the commentary. So Pinyaga Pittan is Shiva, that's Shiva. Piṟappu-illiyaip. Piṛappu means birth. In Tamil we have this common things, right? Piṛappu-illiyaip. Piṛappu is birth, Irappu is death. Piṟappu-illiyaip. Illi means one who does not have. So Piṛappu-illi is one who does not have birth. Because Shiva is always there, he does not have birth or death. So he is describing Shiva as the one who is never born. Piṛappu-illiyaip. Then he is describing of what he is wearing. Pāṇula varivandu arai kondrai tāranai. Shiva is wearing a garland of kondrai flowers. Kondrai we have seen in many songs. It's a yellow flower that blooms in a tree. And many Thevaram songs describe that kondrai flower as a favorite flower of Shiva. So Shiva will be described as wearing kondrai flower on his hair, jata. He will be described as wearing kondrai flower on his chest and all that. So that is what he is describing here. Kondrai tāranai. Tar is a type of garland. In India we have various kinds of garlands that we make. Right? There are garlands that we wear on the neck, on the chest. There are garlands that we wear around the head. There are garlands that are circular. There are garlands which are more like a string, and there are long garlands, short garlands, various kinds of things. And then there are different names for the different kinds of garlands. So tar is a type of garland that one wears on the chest, around the neck. So kondrai tāranai, Shiva who is wearing the kondrai garland around on his chest. And that kondrai is a very nice flower, fragrant flower, and that is rich in nectar, right? So bees will be humming around those flowers. So that's what he is describing. Varivandu arai kondrai tāranai. Varivandu is bee, vari is stripes. So the bees will have various kinds of bees, and they will have stripes on their body. So that kind of a bees, arai is to make sound. The bees will be humming, buzzing around. So that buzzing is called arai here. Varivandu arai. So the bees are buzzing around kondrai flower. That kondrai flower, that garland he is wearing. Then the bees are buzzing, and how are these how is this buzzing sound? It's very melodious and nice. Pān ula varivandu arai. Pān is, pan in Tamil you would have seen. Every padigam we have this pan, right? This is in Nattapadai, or this is in Indalam, or this is in pañjuram, or whatever, right? We have various puns. So the pan, here because of the rhyming, the word pan becomes elongated and became pan. Pān ula means having pan. Varivandu arai. So the bees are buzzing around in very melodious, making melodious sound, melodious music around the contrary flowers on his garland. So that is the meaning of the phrase. Pān ula varivandu arai kontrai tāranai. Shiva wearing that kind of a nice contrary garland. And he is wearing a belt around his waist. And that belt we know is a cobra. Padapambu arai nananai. Arai is waist. Male waist is called arai. Female waist is called idai in Tamil. So arai is male waist. Nan is the thread, right? Around the waist we wear a thread or an ornament or a belt, that is called arai nan. So Shiva is wearing a cobra. Pambu is snake. Padam is the hood, the hooded cobra. Padapambu arai nananai. Shiva who is wearing as a waist belt, the girdle, a cobra. That Shiva, so up to this, right, the first three lines till the first word in the fourth line is all describing Shiva. Shiva who is Chandrasekhara, Shiva who is dwelling in Kodumudi temple, Shiva who is who has got infinite love, Shiva is wearing all kinds of things on his head, Shiva who is unborn, Shiva who is wearing a contrary garland, Shiva who is wearing a cobra around his waist. All that is described. And then says, Tondan Uran Sol Ivai. So Tondan is servant or a slave. Uran is Navala Uran. That's referring to Aruran, right? Navala Uran, Aruran. These are all names of describing Sundarar. So Uran is Aruran. The R is dropped here for poetry. So Tondan Uran is slave, is servant, Aruran. That is Sundaran, I. Sollivai. The songs that I have sung, these padigam, these songs, this padigam, Ivai is these songs. Solluvarku, those who recite, those who sing, to them, illai tunbame, there is no more suffering. So just as I, Sundaran, have sung this padigam on Shiva of Kodumudi, who is Chandrasekhara, who is never born, who is wearing contrary garland, who is wearing snake around his waist, all that. This padigam, those devotees who recite this padigam, they will be free of suffering. So Rama, you can read the whole verse again.
I just have one question about that spelling of Varivandu Arai and Pambarai. Both are Arai. So
if you are reading in Telugu script, you will see that they have the different ra.
Sorry, Arai and Arai.
Yeah.
That's a double.
Yeah, very good point. Very good. I am glad you noticed it. Arai is with the bandi ra.
Yeah.
That means to sound. It has many meanings. There are some common meanings in spoken Tamil. Okay, Arai refers to room, right? We say Padukkai Arai, Samayal Arai. That is room, kitchen or bedroom, etc. That is one meaning in common Tamil. It also means to slap, right? Or ara kuduthen. I slapped him. Arai is to slap. That is also there. But araidal as a verb also means to make sound. So Panula varivandu arai is the bees are making noise, making sound. So that is that arai, the bandi ra, the trill ra in English. Padapambu arai, that arai is the regular Ra.
Okay.
That is what most Indian languages have. And that arai, again, in common Tamil, it's also there. That means half to some extent. Okay, often arai is half.
Okay.
And the human body, the arai refers to waist because there's a middle. So in Tamil, in the kal in Tamil, probably in Telugu too, kal means quarter, 1/4. So the leg is always called kal, and waist is called arai, like that. So there's an association. I'm just mentioning it as extra information, but the point is that the arai in the end of third line, that refers to the waist. The arai in the middle of the third line refers to the buzzing.
Okay. Thank you.
Good.
So, Koniya pirai sudiyai Karayuril Pandikkodumudi Peniya Perimanai Pinyaga Pittanai piṛappu-illiyaip Paanula Varivandu Arai Kondrai Tharanai Kadappambu Arai நாணனை தொண்டன் ஊரன் சொல் இவை சொல்லுவார்க்கு இல்லை துன்பமே.
Very good. So with that we are completing this padigam. Since some of you were not there in some of the sessions, if you have any questions on any song in this padigam, we can talk about it now. If you have. If you don't have any question, then we can go back, go to the Odhuvar audio and listen to the Odhuvar audio again, the whole padigam.
I haven't heard the whole thing, so at the moment I don't have any questions.
Okay. Okay, no problem. We will stop the recording here and listen to the Odhuvar padigam now. Tiruchitrambalam.